Facebook has been down today too. So for me, anyway.
Oh, geez, I didn't even look. Welcome to Booked Up with Beth. I am Beth Hildenbrand, and tonight we have DM Needom, a special favorite guest on the show. She has been here a few times, and I love to have her on. And I love her books because I get to go back to the 80s.
80s and the 90s. But
Yeah, it's fun. And tonight we are going to talk about the book uh, Goldie and the Honey Thieves. Yes, I love the cover. It's
thanks.
fabulous. And so, first, I'm going to let DM tell us a little bit about herself for those of you who have not met her before. So,
I am DM Needom. I go by Donna. I write rockstar romance primarily. I also have a podcast called The Better Two Podcast, where I interview mainly musicians at this point. I've interviewed some bigger name musicians from the 80s and the 90s. So that's been an interesting ride. I am a cancer survivor, and I just adopted a new puppy who kind of is inspired by the character in the book. This is Bo Bear. Um,
oh,
his name at the shelter was Bo, his given name, because he was microchipped. So he is now Bo Bear officially. So he goes
oh,
along with the books. So
yay! I love that. That is so cool. Um, this book just you tore me up. I'll tell you what. I mean, I loved the first book. Uh, uh, Shoot,
Goldilocks and
Goldie
the Bear
and
Brothers.
the Bear Brothers band. Yes, and I saw that you're doing another one after this, a third to
There's
this.
there's one after this, and there's also going to be one that restarts the series because Give Me All Your Lovin' is a side book, and I'm writing another book called Before Goldie. So we have Before Goldie that will go kind of with Give Me All Your Lovin' plus him before he gets to meet Goldie, up to the point that's where that stops. And then yes, there's one more book that is called Goldie and Bo Beyond the Lights, and that will be the final one where everybody they'll get their true happy ending. Now, I'm
When
not
does
going to say
that
that
come
there's not
out?
going to be good things. Uh, I hopefully by the end of this year. I had a bunch of books I was going to put out. I was on a deadline, and it just got to be too much, so I took a step back. And so I'm hoping right now I'm shooting for October, but it may be November before that comes out.
Oh, I'm going to drive you crazy about that. You know that, don't you?
That's
Because
fine.
I did with this one. I was like, I need the next book. And then I got it and I was like, why am I reading this? I
Sorry.
tell you what, I was pissed off at everybody in this book. And then I was crying. And then I was happy. I mean, you hit me hard, lady.
Well, I mean, as a writer, one of the things we want to do is connect with our audience and have them connect emotionally with the characters. At least that's something I like to do. And so if you went on this emotional roller coaster, then I did my job.
Yes, you did in spades. I got to tell you, I was pissed off at everybody. I mean, I loved the characters from the last book, Goldie Licks and the Bear Brothers Band, and I was so upset that they weren't together at the end of this book. I mean, I was just furious. And then you said, "Well, there's another book, but I'm not sure if you're going to like it." And so I'm reading this book, and I'm like, "What? What?" And then, okay, so I'm mad at Goldie because she's not doing what I want her to do. And then I'm mad at Bo because he's not doing what I want him to do. And then she goes and says, well, here, take this instead. And I'm like, are you kidding me? But then it's like, oh my God. And all I can think of is, how did she write this? How did she write this? And I'm like ready to cry, wondering how in the hell you wrote this book.
Well, there's two scenes that well, actually three, but those scenes got to me and I did tear up when I was writing them. And that's one of those things where it's like um the certain we'll say the Jeep incident, that without giving too many spoilers, the Jeep incident definitely had me in tears, and in the situation with Mora and even Chester, which by the way, yes, I also adopted a cat and his name is Chester. But it's something that when I write, it's one of those things that I learned when I was taking acting classes, which was live in the moment. So when I'm in that moment, I try to embrace that completely. I try to get into the character and feel the character and go through those emotions. And, like with the Jeep scene, I will say this, one of the important things about that Jeep scene is I wrote it and then my beta and I discussed it and she's like, we need to make this a little bit more nuanced because of the fact that I felt more about Mora than I did Bobby. And that's not right. So we sat there as I was finishing the book and we discussed it and I started feeding her stuff and she would come back with a little bit of nuance and that's how we tied it all together for that scene.
Yeah, I mean, it was an emotional roller coaster. And knowing you personally, I mean, I consider you a friend now because, we have talked so much.
Hmm.
And if you called or hit me up and said, Beth, can you do this for me? I would absolutely say yes. Unless it's money, because I don't have
No,
that.
I understand. I feel the same and I understand the money situation. Trust me, I understand.
I'm a poor woman, but anything you needed, I would gladly, do for you. We've become friends through all this over, the years. And so I know your story and I can't give the book away, but knowing your story and reading this book, uh, I had you in my head the whole time with Mara. And I have goosebumps now, even talking about it.
Well,
So it really, got to me reading this book and thinking of you writing this book. So
to be
that gave it a more personal aspect for me, even as I read it, because I really wanted to hate Mara. I did. And in the beginning, I could. But then by the end, I'm crying for her. I am.
well,
So,
and
yeah.
that was one of the things is yes, there is we do have a cancer journey in there. That is in the spoil, that is a spoiler, but we do have a cancer journey in there. And I mean, I'll be really frank. My beta, she pulled me back in because I was going to make Mora have a different type of cancer, more along the lines that I had, except make it ovarian cancer, and that she when she found out she was pregnant. And my beta is like, you have toyed with the readers enough. You do not need to have another death in there with them losing a baby. So I did not put that in there. But to be fair, when I was writing the Jeep thing, um, I went back to my own loss with my husband because it was not as drastic, but we were in a car together and he passed in the car. So I understand that feeling. And I went to those emotions from what my own personal journey is and put them on paper.
But you can feel it. You can feel it in the book. And maybe it gets to me because I also, had
Hmm.
cancer and uterine cancer. And I
Yeah.
found out when I was pregnant. So, yeah, it got to me in my own personal way as well. But I kind of put that aside because, you're the one who wrote the book and it was like, oh my God, yeah, how could this had to be so hard for her to write?
But like one of this, when I was working on more on another reason why I was dealing with that cancer issue was the fact that I know personally that my one of my dad's girlfriends, she had gotten pregnant and she had cancer and they told her you can we can treat your cancer or you can have the child, but you can't do both. And if you wait to treat the cancer, you may not be here. So I also played on that in my when I was thinking about doing that because I know that's a struggle for people that here you have this great moment of joy and then you have to deal with that. I never had to deal with that personally because by the time I was diagnosed, I was already for menopause. So, you know, it's just
I'll
one of
tell
those
you,
things where, go
I
ahead.
never got that. I never got that with the doctors. They said it was, very slight,
Hmm.
and they didn't expect anything really to come of it. And then after he was born, they took me in. They thought, oh, no big deal, just a little zap or whatever. And then they found out it had spread everywhere and they'd have to take my whole uterus out. And I was like, oh, that I was stunned. And then the fun part is, they take you in to the OBGYN part of the hospital. So you're laying there with all the mothers and the new babies after they have completely taken out your womb. That's a joy.
Oh, I'm sure it's not an easy task for me because I had endometrial cancer. I had to actually go out of state to go to a certain hospital to get it done. And then they did it robotically. And this is something that I just found out recently. I never actually had biological children. So, and this, for anybody that's listening, if you don't have children, you actually have a higher risk of getting endometrial cancer.
I never knew that either.
Well, they don't tell you those things. So it's one of those things where it's like you have to be your own advocate. If your body starts acting up, you're having irregular bleeding cycles or whatever, be your own advocate. And that's kind of important. And that's when I look at my journey. I had my husband a long time ago told me after I had a bleeding issue. He's like, why not you just have a hysterectomy? And at the time I was still of childbearing years. So nobody's going to give me a hysterectomy. And that's the unfortunate thing, is that when you're a woman, we put that ahead of your own health sometimes. So
that's true. That is true. I have heard of many women who said, I would rather have the baby than, have an abortion, whether, it's going to kill me or not. And I guess, to each his own. Your choice.
Well, that would have been. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just babbling. Go ahead.
Say, that would have been a harder issue if I would have used the situation where she had ovarian cancer or uterine cancer, and then them having to make that choice. Because I think Bo, being the man he is, would have said, "I would rather you be here than have this. We have a son." So. Which he kind of alludes to eventually, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a love story, really. The whole book is a love story, and that's the beautiful part. Although you get mad, or I did. I got mad in the beginning, but yet everybody really kind of got what they wanted. And it came full circle. The way you did it at the end, where it goes back to the very beginning in the first book. It was just perfect.
Well, and I mean, I remember last time coming on the show, you were just like, I can't believe you're going to make them wait 20 years.
I know, right?
It was worth it. It was worth it.
It was. And their son is hysterical. I mean, he was quite the character. He really was. And even through it all, and Bo really became like a good man through everything. He really did. From like this spoiled rock star to an incredible man. And so, yeah, it was a fabulous book. It really was. It made me mad. It made me laugh. It made me cry. It was just a terrific book.
And her choice with Jet.
Oh, Jet. She did good there at the end with him, but wasn't he a piece of work?
Well, did you like when Wendy said, take one for the team?
Yes, I did. That was so good. Oh my gosh. I didn't know I couldn't have done that. But
no.
Goldie's a trip. I mean, she hasn't got an ounce of fear in her. She'll just do her thing and have a good time. I, however, could not have done that.
No.
But yeah, Goldie's a girl. I'll tell you what, she just goes for it. That just cracked me up so much. And Ava, she's just like, no big thing. Have a good time.
She's seasoned. She's been through a lot in her own life, and it's all good. It's all gravy.
Yeah, it is. Oh, hi, Eleanor. Thanks for coming. No, we just talking about threesomes, and it ain't nothing.
No, nothing at all.
Nope. Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
and I mean that's the thing about it. It's like you would expect. You always hear about the male, and somebody has described Bo from being in "Give Me All Your Lovin'" as a himbo, as a total himbo. And so in a roundabout way, I wanted Goldie to have this capable, because she's been very sheltered for most of her life. I don't have her being, yeah, sure, she messed around with Bailey in the first book on accident, not knowing, but she's
Beat
never, you never,
man.
yeah, you never hear about this wildness in her. So it's like, here's a chance for her to break loose. And very much like we always hear the male rock star getting hit on by the gold digger. We always see that. Well, here, let's set it up differently. Let's set this up. And this is actually going to tie in that whole little narrative there ties in the next book because Goldie's got a secret
Ooh.
that Bo doesn't know, that Mama
Uh-huh.
spills the beans on. So that kind of comes out as to why Goldie was so gun shy about getting married.
Ah.
So, yeah.
Oh, now see, you're going to have me sitting here waiting again. Arrgh, you do this to
Isn't
me
that a
every
right?
time.
Isn't that a right job?
Yes, it is. Dang you. I think I absolutely loved when Bo popped out of the cake and got stuck and fell on his face. Now that had to be just a moment for me. I'm sorry. It's like, ha ha, check you
And
out.
I'm
Falling on
sure
the cake.
I'm sure you liked when their son's like, Uncle Bailey, I'm staying at your house tonight.
Yes, yes. It's like everybody was like, okay, we've had enough of this from you two. Later.
Except for
Everybody
Bailey,
just deserts him.
except for Bailey's girlfriend or wife going, no, this is getting interesting.
Yeah, I'm sticking around to see what's going to happen next.
Nope, been there,
Yeah.
done that, thought on the first tour, don't need to see it now.
That would be my luck. I get a stripper, somebody's going to pop out of a cake for me and falls flat on their face.
Yeah.
I saw a stripper one time in my life, and I'll tell you what, I kept my eyes closed through the whole thing because it was for my mother.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I couldn't get excited seeing a stripper when it was for my mom. I was like, no, I'm not watching my mom do this. Okay.
So in the late 70s, early 80s, my mom would take my grandmother and one of her coworkers from the Navy Exchange to go to the male strip club. And I would just be like, and they would talk. My grandma, she was always funny because she gets embarrassed easily, and she gets this little laugh. It was just so I would hear stories, and she's like, "Don't tell Dawn about that. Don't tell her. Don't." It's like it's okay. It's okay. The only time I've ever seen a male stripper in person was on Bourbon Street. My stepmom had taken me out. I was like 27 years old, and she took me out and a friend out, and this guy was just gyrating on a pole. We had a glass that was like $8 for this small. And I looked at my friend. I'm like, I could dance better than that. It wasn't that great. I was just like, yeah, okay. So, I mean, yeah, but Bo and Goldie have this propensity for him stripping. So that's why I kind of put that in there.
I know she's standing there waving the money while he comes out of the cake. Oh, that was a great scene. I loved it. I really did. I
Awesome.
was teaching my little grandson how to tango today. He thought that was fabulous, especially the
Nice.
dips.
Very nice.
He gets a little heavy for me after a while, though. He's a little chunker at 18 months old. You know, they're finally putting on the weight. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, okay, grandma old. We can only do this for so long.
What book am I working on next? I am working on. I'm kind of splitting it between Before Goldie and Goldie and Bo Beyond the Lights. So it's kind of going back and forth in those two.
I want to read both of them. Is the
Well,
before when they were little kids? The
no,
boys were little,
the
or
before starts. So when I wrote "Give Me All Your Lovin'," Bo originally had a POV in there, and I took it out and rewrote the book because two of my readers were just like, no, this is not going to work. I hate Wendy and I don't like her. And I just, no. So I rewrote the book and I kept Bo's POV out of it. And so I started this next, Before Goldie starts with Bo's POV for those incidents. And then we move on to the time that comes up for him to hire Goldie. He will not meet her. He will listen to some tapes and watch some videos and decide that's how he's going to hire her. So, and then the other one starts right where we left off. We're going to be in Las Vegas, and we're going to be dealing with all the crap you deal with when you're in your 50s, such as, how sexy can it be when a man that you haven't slept with in a while, he suddenly stops breathing because, he usually sleeps with a CPAP, but he doesn't want to wear that mask because it's not sexy.
Oh, geriatric love. Oh, it's going to be fabulous.
And then, of course, his son the next day is like, so did you see Dad's elephant mask?
Oh, it's going to be fun.
I'm going to have a little fun. There'll be some tears, I'm sure, in this book as well. But, I'm keeping it real. And I mean, when you're in your 50s, getting close to 60, a lot of things happen that, there's the loss of a parent. There's your body not working as much as you want it to work. There's numerous things. And I think that's, I guess, the one thing I've always tried to do is keep my writing real as much as I can. And so, what books are my favorite to write? I don't have a favorite because it all takes a mood to. I have to be in the mood to write. I am trying to work on some darker books, but those keep getting pushed back. I enjoy writing the darker stuff. I enjoy writing this. This is fun. To be honest, I wrote Goldie Licks and also The Honey Thief. I was in such the zone. I wrote those books in 2.5 months.
Wow.
Because I was just a writing machine at that point. And then something happened and I have not been inspired. And that's where I took a break, because it's like, I need to just peel back. And I think part of it is the whole AI witch hunt. I don't use AI. I never have used AI. Why would I use AI when I have stories to tell and it's a passion of mine?
I just yelled at that the other day. I don't think there's anything wrong with using AI for covers or book ads. To each his own. But if somebody does, don't accuse them of using it in their writing. That's just wrong.
Well, and the thing is, for me, it's like, it's a part of, between the covers and everything, I put my heart and soul in all of it. And to just turn that over to a machine, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to have that emotional depth. It's not going to have those feelings. And the problem is there's so much AI slop out there now on Amazon and whatever, that an author that, like yourself and me, that you're trying to write, you're trying to get yourself out there, but nobody's listening because they're so enamored with AI slop. So it's like, there's times when you think, well, should I keep going or do I give up? And that's the really tough thing, is like, do I need to just give up and stop writing because nobody is looking at what I'm writing? I'm putting my heart and my soul out here. And the reason I don't is because I love writing.
So. Yeah, it's just, I start getting like itchy if I don't write. It's just like, I need to.
Yeah.
It's just like, everybody leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
I just need my computer for a little while. Just get away from me and let me go. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it drives me crazy. And if I have, where I get a little blocked, I've noticed I've been going back and re-editing some stuff and adding bits here and there to some of my shorter books that I thought, you know what, they deserve a bigger book. Like Lila, the Shattered Hex, the last book I put out. Mm-hmm. That was just supposed to be a fun little quick book. But people really enjoyed it. And I thought, you know what, Lila deserves a bigger story. So I went back and started re-editing and adding to it. And I noticed that puts me in the mood to want to write more. Well, so it got me on the ball to write more of what the other books I had started. Just, if I go back and work on that, it's like, okay, now I'm in the mood. I can start working on the things I'm supposed to be working on.
Well, like when I wrote Give Me All Your Lovin', it was kind of just a side project. It was like, okay, well, it'll introduce Bo, it'll introduce him a little bit. And then I started with Goldie Licks, and it was like, Goldie Licks just took off. It was supposed to be a Three Bears retelling. It was not a Three Bears retelling. I make one reference to the Three Bears, and that's it. and it took off on its own. And then Goldie and the Honey Thief was coming along. I was putting notes in for Goldie and the Honey Thief in a document. So when I was finished with Goldilocks, here I was. I already knew by the time I was finishing Goldilocks that certain people were going to pass in this book. They were going to split, and that lovely scene in where Goldie finds out something. I had already written that before I was done with Goldilocks. So yeah, when you write, and that's the thing, I don't write in order. I write when it comes, and then fix it.
Yeah, I tend to do that a little bit too. It's like, okay, this sounds really good. I'm going to get this down before I forget it.
Exactly. Exactly. Because that's the thing. One idea comes in another one, and it's notorious for me to get ideas in the middle of the night.
Oh, yes.
It's like, dude, I'm trying to sleep. No, I got an idea for you. No. Mm-mm.
I do that a lot I do it more with poetry than I do with my books. I'll spit out a whole poem in my head, and it's like, okay, I have to have this stuff sitting right there next to my bed and scribble down a poem really quick, or it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do it with the books too. It's like when that part where you're almost asleep, but not quite. And it's like, yeah, I got to get this down really quick.
Yeah, if I'm it usually happens when I'm driving or later at night. And my characters are like, here's an idea. You need to do this. And it's just like, okay.
I have written some of my best stuff sitting in the car, waiting for my son to get out at the end of the day, come out from school.
Mm-hmm.
Just sitting in that parking lot.
Not surprising.
I have no idea why, but yeah, I'm going to miss that now that he has graduated.
Yeah, but you got a little one to keep you busy now.
Yeah, I do. But he still has therapy. So I noticed I wrote a whole poem the other day waiting for him while he was in therapy. So, hey, I guess that makes up for it.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, close one door. Close one door, another one opens.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. So we have that. So Nina asked a bit ago, she must have missed it. Could you show us your book cover again?
Yeah. Yeah, I can do that. Hold on.
Yeah, it's fabulous. I love that.
I plan on, once all the books are done, the 4 books, of making a box set. So,
ooh, I'll have to get that.
Bo's cover is a little different. The Before Goldie, it's a black and white cover, and the reason I'm doing it that way was the picture for the guy. That's the only one I liked, and it was black and white. But I also think it shows Bo in a different light because Bo was not as happy and not as full of life during that time. Once he meets Goldie, his life kind of blossoms. So in that Before Goldie, we're going to deal with some relationships he was in that was explored. He met Candace in Goldilocks. We were introduced to her. Oh. We're going to go back to that relationship to see what that relationship was like. So.
Oh, Nina's just chittering away here. Yeah, I love the book cover too. It's fabulous.
Thanks, Nina.
It is so hard trying to find good pictures that you like, that is what you have in your head.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I will sit for hours and hours and hours going through pictures trying to find what I think Kane looks like, and it will drive me crazy. I mean, have you ever watched professional wrestling?
Yes, because my grandmother used to love professional wrestling, and I've been to wrestling matches. So yes, back in the day, yes. In fact, I got her a video game because she was legally blind. And I got the video game and I was playing it, and my husband comes in the living room and she slaps him and she says, "You got to watch this match. I've seen it before. It's great." And I'm like, we both know it's a video game. But it's like, okay.
My son has got me into watching wrestling again. And there's this one wrestler, Roman Reigns. This is how I think Kane is supposed to look. Only I can't use this man's picture. He's a professional wrestler. But this is how I picture him in my head.
But here's the thing. While you can't put him on your cover, you can put him on your computer as inspiration. And that's the thing. It's like I have pictures on my computer that I can look at and inspire me. I do notice about myself is I usually will create my book cover as soon as I start on a book. For some reason, that is just ingrained in me that I have to have that cover going to write the book. I don't know why.
I do that too. I mean,
It makes
I will start looking as soon as I start the book. I will start looking for what I think the book cover should be.
it makes no sense, but yeah, I do it, and that's just the way it is. So I don't right now. It's a toss up between what I have more done on Before Goldie, um, but I don't know if I want to release that book first because that'll be a prequel, or if I want to finish Bo and Goldie Beyond the Lights, or Goldie and Bo Beyond the Lights. So
Well, whichever one you must send me.
I know I
And
will.
because, yes, I'll be like going crazy till I get it.
I know.
I love these books.
I'm glad you do. I try.
I do. Well, you're fabulous at it.
Thank
You
you.
are. Hmm.
Thank you.
So, yes, I'm going to tell everybody now that they must buy this book because it's wonderful. And I will be giving it 5 stars, obviously, because you've heard me sit here and say, uh, Nina says, just send the goodies.
But I will say this: if you're gonna start, you really need to pick up Goldie Licks first, which is currently
Yes.
on KU for like the next 2 weeks, because otherwise you're gonna be lost.
Yes, absolutely. To get the first one, Goldie Licks and the Bear Brothers Band.
Hmm.
And you're going to love it. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. Even though it will irritate you and but you'll be happy because then you can get the second book. You won't be like me. Nina says she will buy it. You'll love it, honey. You will. And it'll have you cracking up too. But and this way you'll get to read the second one right after. You won't have to wait in between like I did.
Well, and I try to make it happen quickly. I mean, I to be fair, I have tried to make it happen pretty quick. I haven't had
You
this is
did. I didn't have to wait long.
this is going to be the bigger delay is the next 2 books, but it still won't be that long.
Well, I have a lot of shows coming up, so I have plenty to read in the meantime. So I can't
Mhm.
get too mad at you or
Good.
too upset with you. I'm never mad at you. I'm just like impatient
Annoyed.
with you. How's that sound? Impatient with you.
How could I give them 20 years or 21 years between? Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. There's a lot of patience in those 20 years.
Yeah.
So thank you, honey, for coming on the show again.
Thank you for having me.
It's always fun to have you. And we always have some interesting discussions.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, always. Hell no, keep on writing. It's meds for your soul. Absolutely, it is.
It is, Nina. Thank you.
And goodness knows it's better than meds. Ugh.
Mhm. Yes, definitely.
Oh, yeah. I hate meds. I do.
I don't particularly care for them either. So,
No, they're no fun.
mm-mm.
Let's see how much we can dope you and put you on pills that you can't get back off of. Doctors and their meds. Yuck. Well, that's a whole other discussion we're not going to get into tonight. So, Nina says, thank you for coming, everyone. Yes, I agree. Thank you for coming. I'm not sure what my next show is. I think I have all next week off. Yay, me. So, I didn't have off with the baby, however. So, everyone have a good week, and I will see you the next week. And my son turns 30 on Friday.
Wow.
Just remind me how old I am. This is my middle son, even, not even my oldest. So, happy birthday, Gare, if you're watching. And thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you all in the funny papers. Love ya. Bye.
Bye.